It's official. The men's physique division has changed forever.
The long-awaited news that we've all been waiting for has finally come out. Tyler Manion has announced a new height and weight cap for the men's physique division.
So the first weekend after the Olympia, all men's physique pros will be getting heighted and weighted at every single show going forward.
The men's physique weight cap is going to be 10 pounds under the classic physique weight cap. Not only will we have that 10-pound difference there, but he's put in place rules for legs. Men's physique will be getting judged on their legs. First thing a lot of guys think about is what?
Sacrificing the legs in order to keep the upper body as big and round as possible. The board shorts can no longer be an escape. Now, they're making sure that you have a well-rounded physique. We have to make sure that we understand what he's actually looking for. He's not judging the legs for separation or detail like they might be doing for
Classic physique or bodybuilding.
Exactly. But what they are doing is judging it for symmetry, proportion compared to the upper body.
Right.
So in order to fit the weight cap, you cannot sacrifice the lower body. They want to make sure that the complete X frame is there from top to bottom. So, like we said, the men's physique division, you cannot have chicken legs and just skate by. You have to prioritize the full body. Right. So the specific rule for the board short
should come down to 2 inches above the top of the kneecap.
So, Trulaware, Alphalete, all the other board short companies out there, you got to make sure that the board shorts are not only fitted, but also now go exactly in comparison to what the judges are looking for.
Yes. So he stated 2 inches above the kneecap, and the shorts have to be tapered. So your board shorts cannot be loose or baggy. Tyler put emphasis on that part. You have to actually show what the shape of your legs look like to make sure that they're in proportion with the upper body.
A lot of people are complaining about the size of men's physique, but I think we need to take a step back and understand, just because there is a weight cap, it doesn't mean you can truly fill out that weight cap and sacrifice what they're truly still looking for in the men's physique division.
Right.
So before we get there, let's take a step back. Use us as reference.
Okay.
So me personally, I just competed 2 days ago. And with that, we got heighted and weighted in. Show day morning, I weighed 216 pounds.
What they height you at?
They heighted me in at 83 inches. So I believe that's just over 6'2".
Okay.
So being 6'2", that gives me the ability to be 239 pounds on stage. And with that, that means we have a significant gap between where we are and where we can be. But does that mean that I need to completely fill out the weight cap? Absolutely not. Because if I do, that's going to potentially sacrifice my look for what the men's physique division is actually looking for. So use yourself.
6 foot, and my weight cap now is 217 pounds. On stage this year, I've been 200 pounds. So a long way to go before reaching the 217 pound weight cap. I don't plan on putting on 17 pounds in a year. I don't know if that's actually possible. But I'll continue the progress that I've been doing and continue to slowly grow. The one thing we don't want to do, most guys are going to try to max their weight cap out right away.
Exactly.
But when you do that, you're going to sacrifice or risk sacrificing your waistline and blowing your midsection out.
100%.
And that's part of having that men's physique look, is having that small waist and a nice taper.
And just like you said, the men's physique look, right? So the standard. We'll use the current champion.
So Aaron Banks is 6'1", a little bit over 6'1". His stage weight is 222 pounds. He has a great men's physique look. He has a really nice taper. He's wide up top through the shoulders, the lats. Comes down to a nice small waist. That's a nice taper. It's a nice streamlined look, really good midsection. Everything is in proportion. The arms aren't overly big. They're not too big for in comparison to his delts or his torso. Everything flows well. That's what the men's physique division is supposed to be. By the way, his weight cap is 224 pounds, so he's got 2 pounds to play with. He doesn't really need to grow much more, maybe add a little bit more depth to his chest, but that's about it.
And you gotta understand, he is never the biggest guy on stage. And again, he is consistently winning shows. So size is not everything. So yes, maybe you have a little bit of room to grow, but you cannot sacrifice what the standard is. Now, using our 3-time champion, Brandon Hendrickson, as a prime example. Brandon...
He's going to have some trouble. I mean, he's going to have some trouble. Brandon's 198 pounds on stage, and that's 198 pounds peeled. I mean...
round.
You can't get leaner. He's going to have to actually lose muscle tissue to get down to 187 pounds.
And what was he on
at
stage?
5'8".
What was he on stage?
198. That's muscle, all muscle. So that's going to be quite a drop, and he's going to have a decision to make. You know, does he sacrifice and lose muscle, which is really hard to do, and it's not easy. And honestly, it hurts the soul, you know, to work as hard as you do for that many years, you know, and to have to give up all the muscle that you've worked to put on, like that hurts.
You see, but Brandon is one of those people who could actually switch to the classic physique division, put on a little bit more size, and actually be competitive. He has the legs for it. He has the proportions for it.
Yeah.
He could actually make that switch. And that's the thing what a lot of people are going to need to look themselves in the mirror and ask themselves, do I just put on a little bit more muscle and make that transition?
I mean, he's already at the classic physique weight cap
right now. So like
he could add on more muscle tissue and then, you know, add more density, because that's the difference right now with the classic guys at the top, and Brandon is the amount of density that they have.
100%.
He could add on more density and go and be competitive in classic. He's got a really nice taper.
Look at Chiron, right? He's a prime example.
We're
He
waiting
looks
to-
great
we're
for
waiting to
men's
see how
physique,
it goes, yeah.
and he's getting ready to make his debut at Legions to step on stage in classic physique. And everybody always said he was too big for the men's physique division. So this is going to be a perfect example of what could be potentially a lot of competitors are facing in making that transition.
Now, one thing I want to talk about is this: why have a height and weight cap for men's physique? I think I need to explain this so people can understand. Men's physique and bikini, these two divisions are what we call the gateway divisions for bodybuilding. When most people who aren't bodybuilders look at us, they say, "Oh, well, I could look like that. I want to look like that." You know, that's an obtainable look.
100%.
So you have to maintain the integrity of these two divisions, because this is what gets people in the door. This is what gets people started. When you go to NPC shows, you see majority men's physique and bikini competitors. That's where people start at. You know,
There's a consistent evolution in anything that you do. Any sport. If you look at football, go back to the golden days. You can see a distinct difference in size, athleticism, as you progress to modern day. Same thing with the men's physique division. You can see the density, the conditioning, the muscle, even the board short changes, change from where you started to where we are. So now it's the same thing, but we are starting to get too far away from where the division originally started from.
and that's what happens when we continue to push the envelope, you know, as humans, as athletes, as competitors, you know, just constantly pushing it.
So when you ask, is this needed for the division? I think it is. And again, you got to understand, there is still a standard of what they want. So you could be 20 pounds under the weight cap and still meet the standard.
Yeah, still have the look.
And then a prime example of that is Jeremy Potvin, right? Like you look at Jeremy, you think he is so big and he doesn't fit the standard of the men's physique division, right? But he's also very light for what you might think he actually is.
Yeah.
So again, you can't just look at somebody and say they're too big for the division, even if they fit the weight cap, or vice versa. There's a look that they're going for, and you have to always prioritize that look. So for the masses, this is going to be something where it's going to cause some trouble.
I think it's a really good idea, and I think it's going to be good for the division. Honestly, truthfully, I think that we're going to see a much better product being displayed. You know, guys are going to have to show up in shape. That's the first thing.
100%.
So now you don't see pros showing up out of shape and looking any kind of way. You know, guys are going to show up in shape, and they're going to show up looking the way that you're supposed to. And, you know, people come pay, they want to see the guys look good. No one wants to see guys on stage looking like shit. I mean, like, that's the reality. So we get a better product on stage. I think it's a great idea.
Now, with this is what I'm nervous about. There's a certain level of extremes that you can utilize in order to get to a certain number, and that's going to sacrifice health. And whether it's diuretic usage, whether it's even crash dieting, as simple as can be, right? There's a lot of different things that people can do just to see the number change. And that can lead to a lot of long-term health issues. So this is a fair warning. Prioritize the health from the start. Give yourself longer if you need to prep longer, right? Set a game plan, be strategic, understand where you currently are, where you need to be, and how to get to where you need to be without sacrificing your health.
Exactly.
And still prioritizing the look. Again, gotta make sure you take a step back and understand that there's still a long game that needs to be prioritized, and there's more than just the now.
Really good point right there. Also want to make sure that I remind you guys that this is only in effect for IFBB pros.
Yes.
This is not in effect for amateur men's physique competitors. So keep in mind, you know, guys that are aspiring to turn pro right now, that you're gonna have to fit that same height and weight standard. So you should already be paying attention to it, even though it doesn't apply to you right now. Pay attention to it. Make sure that you're fitting inside what the look is.
And again, be realistic with yourself. If you're noticing, I need to add 10 pounds of muscle to be competitive as an amateur, then maybe you need to add 15, 20 to be competitive as a pro.
Yeah.
But when you add that total, are you over the weight cap? Are you too close to the weight cap? Are you over the weight cap? Again, just kind of understanding where you are, where you need to be, and the timeline to get there.
Talk about the timing of this though. So we are now 6 weeks and 5 days, basically 7 weeks out from the Mr. Olympia. The rule goes into effect immediately after the Olympia.
So
this gives guys 8 to 9 weeks to prepare for the shows that will start kicking off immediately after the Olympia. So if you're in prep right now and you're planning on doing one of those early shows for the next season, the shows in November, December, you need to be preparing right now. Make sure you're in shape. If you need to come down in size, start reducing it now. But this gives you an opportunity to make any adjustments that you need for the upcoming season.
Hit the nail on the head. Now, lastly, this just came to my mind. Do you know how Classic Physique or 212, they have a certain time when they check in?
Yes.
I wonder what they're going to do for the men's physique division.
Same
Are
thing.
we going to do it in the morning, so when it's easier to make weight, or is it going to be in the afternoon when my check-in was in Mexico?
It all depends on who the promoter is and what time they schedule it.
So that's the funny thing. People are now going to be starting to make moves dependent on what show to do for when the timing of the check-in is.
Yeah.
So I just did a show in Mexico and my check-in wasn't until 5 p.m. And there's some shows that check-in is 11 a.m. So it's really all dependent on how many meals are you gonna have. You know, if it's too close to the show, if you're weighing in a day before the show, but you can't eat, you know, to fill up, what are you gonna do? Because you have to make your weight. So,
and the reality is this, if you're getting to that point where you have to starve yourself just to make the weight, is it really worth it?
you've really got to understand, again, the long game in this. So there's gonna be a lot of interesting things that are happening in the 2024 season. And with that being said, like I said, the men's physique division has officially changed forever. We'll see you guys in the next video. Like, subscribe. If you want to see more men's physique content, comment below. Again, we listen to the fans, we listen to the subscribers. And again, we just hit 10K subs. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. And we'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.